Hello. So this is the second part of the video that I made earlier. I've changed and all that. The music in the background is Beneath Depths EP, and I'm going to carry on talking about the whole music scenery thing. Where it was left before, it was about how promoters sometimes don't do anything to help the local scene and bands itself, but instead, all they do is actually ruin them. Not all they do, but some promoters ruin them, honestly. But there are promoters out there, like I pointed out, really good people, really nice people, that will do everything they can, everything they have in their hands to help the bands. Not to help themselves, but to help the bands. And some others just want to make easy money from the bands. I had a conversation about this with the vocalist of Beneath the Depths, the band that is playing in the background. And, well, this band I've been listening to since I was around 17. I had them on social media for a very long time. And when their EP was out on YouTube, the one that I've got now, wow, I was at my happiest. I remember they were going to come to Gillingham, and I just messaged them all. I was like, are you actually coming to Gillingham? I need to buy merch, I need to go to this, I need to see you guys live. But sadly they couldn't, but they're such very hard working people, such lovely guys, very, very good band, and their accents are perfect, northern accents. Yeah. So I was talking to a vocalist and I asked him a few questions that I will be reading for you guys, and obviously the answers. So I asked him how the band started, and he replied with, the band started through me and James. This was originally my side project, away from the band I was currently in with James and former drummer Carl. James got on board with it, and we both decided that we wanted to leave the band and start afresh, a project of our own. Carl shortly followed us, and we brought in Danny as a second guitarist, as I've known him since we were like 4 or 5 years of age. Later, we got Jordan in, and that was that. As regards to our newest lineup, we basically parted with Jordan and Carl on a musical level, and getting both Josh and John in the band was a long time coming, at least in my opinion. John had been best friends with me and Danny for a good 6 years or so. We all played and learned music together, so it was just natural to have him as George's replacement. And Josh is also a good friend, fantastic drummer, so he fit the bill perfectly. Aww. What inspired you guys to make music, and what inspired your genre? We have always loved music. Fuck, I can still remember listening to Linkin Park for the first time when I was like 6. It's always been there with us all. I don't think there has ever been a time where one of us wasn't intended or interested in the music industry. So far as genre goes, our inspiration comes from everywhere. We'll have very diverse bands that we are influenced by. Bring Me Horizon and The Devil Wears Prada are my inspirations, both vocally and instrumentally. The Word Alive and Ocean's 8 Alaska for James, Aspen Alexandra and Bless the Fall for Danny. John draws more inspiration from bands like Korn, 36 Crazy Fists, Heart of a Coward, but also the band mentioned above, and Josh is relatively similar. How did you feel when you played your first live show? Nervous as fuck. I had only ever played live as a bassist. I'd never performed vocally to anyone but the band, nor had I any experience on being a frontman, so I was bricking it. Plus it was weird to me because I was jumping about in the stage and there wasn't a bass attached. It was a strange transition to say the least. When you gig, how do you guys feel? We love playing shows, and there has never really been a show where we were any less than excited. It's such an amazing feeling to perform live, and we thrive off the whole experience. Not just the show itself, but the travelling and the chilling outside the venue. Everything about gig day is amazing. A gig day is a very good day indeed. So I went back into the reason why I made this video. Is there anything that you guys think that can possibly be changed in the local scene support from others? Local scenes vary from place to place. I can't say I've been involved with many at all, but speaking from our point of view, in our circuit is abysmal. The support from the locals who love this genre is amazing. The support from Ratstock's promotion is amazing. The Picket and the O2 Academy are amazing, but the void between Ratstock shows, availability in the good venues and 18 plus restricted noise prove difficult. I think, as a whole, local scenes seem to be doing better in recent years. But I don't think the support is there enough, and my honest belief is down to society shifting. Kids of 12, 13, 14 don't want to be coming to their local venue of a Friday night with a £5 entry to see local bands. They want to be seeing the big boys in the city next door. That's the sad truth. Not many kids are in it for the music these days. We live in an age where appearance, nice tattoos, and an attractive vocalist can define a band, not their live performance in their local scene. I agree so much with that. Like, I go to local gigs more than I go to gigs in like they go to the academies and that, because one, I can't really afford to travel, and two, I prefer most local bands that I do big bands when it comes to live performances, because they're great. It's like, if you go through my CD collections, you will see a stupid amount of EPs from local bands and some of their albums, but you will not see a big band CD, because normally I just buy it on iTunes or just listen to them online. Anyways, I carry on. Do you think the promoters nowadays do a good job? His reply was, not at all. There are only 2 of the probable 7 promoters locally who I've worked with who we will continue to work with. If not, the blind cheek to expect 30 ticket sales to be paid £30, and if that requirement is not met, a bollocking like we are school children is a disgraceful attitude towards our manager and roadies. Regarding the eligibility to get into the show we are playing for free, the whole concept of the promoter is to promote, not hire a venue, ask 4 bands to play and sell 30 tickets each, or else he won't put them on again. And then just sit back and take 99% profit, £30 expenses for the band. Say they live in the next town like we do, 20 miles away. That's about a tenner on petrol bus, leaving £20 to either split between the 5 people or to go into the kitty for new gear or petrol to the next show. The promoter makes £4 out of the £5 ticket sale. If all 4 bands sell 30 tickets, if my math isn't off, I make that £480 in his or her back pocket, £200 to cover the venue job done, to do the same again in a few weeks. Easy money to be made of musicians. Don't get me wrong, you get the odd few who are amazing with the bands, pay them a set fee, those genuine promoters are around kicking. But I think the whole outlaw attitude comes about because too many people have realised that they can hire their local venue, throw some young bands on and just make money off them. It's a foolproof plan when you think of it, and they come across as helping the band and the local scene, when if anything they're ruining it completely. All in all, every promoter is different, and until a band reaches the stage where by a management company and booking agents all chill out with contracts is part and parcel of being in a band. As grim as it might be, go grind and bear it. If you want it hard enough and dream big enough, it will be worth in the end. I don't need to add anything to it, really. I don't actually think I need to add anything else to this. Just this at all. I will be adding the links to this band and carrying on. And yeah, check them out. They're really nice people, really good band, and thank you.